single event cash operating expenses without...
When I came in 1980, that time there were a very handful of South Asian families migrated to Toronto. And this bazaar was a very prominent place, and there is a history behind how it became popular and how it was known as a Little India. And coming from India at a young age, you always have a lot of bondage towards your own culture, your own heritage, and your own. So I always wanted to be close to that, and that's the reason I came towards the Gerrard India Bazaar at that time.
तुम क्या करूं तुमने मेरे को बनाया हुआ बॉन्ड ही बना के रखा हुआ है. This is Mr. Inder Jandoo Nina, and he's our vice chair also. He's the pioneer. When I'm talking about pioneer of the bazaar, he's the one who started this Gerrard. Him and Ashok Navani.
The original BIA. My name is Inder Jandoo. I own Sonu Sari Palace on Gerrard Street, which we opened up in 1979. I came here in 1970, and there was there was Indian population there, very few people. And Indian movies were shown in school halls with a projector and a screen. And we used to go and see those movies in those days. And one of the entrepreneurs, Mr. Gyan Naz, he bought this theater which was on Gerrard Street. It was a rundown theater. He bought that theater and they started showing Indian and Pakistani movies here. Having to come to see a movie in Naz Theatre in those days was going back home. And that's how this whole bazaar started. Well, in '79, when we opened up the store, my wife was working when she was in Bell, Canada. My wife used to come here. She would be going to Bell in the morning, 7:30, leave that at 3:30. I'll pick her up, drop her here, and then we'll go back from here at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the night. And the whole day started again in the same way. Our brother was here, so he was helping us with a small store. We started with 200 square feet store. Then I bought the next door building in 1985. Then we expanded in 1995. Then we made it a 6,000 square feet store slowly and slowly.
See how you're known with your community basically. And if your community falls apart or it goes totally vanishes, where do you stand? Your individuality will not do anything unless and until you're collectively together.
There is always a business, there's always a high time and low times. I think the highest time which I would remember were in 90s. There was lineup of customers here because there was nowhere else this kind of a bazaar was there. And after that, slowly and slowly, the pockets were being opened up in all those suburb areas in Brampton and Malton and Scarborough, in all those areas. But prior to all those, there was nothing anywhere. So people used to come here to Gerrard India Bazaar just to have a feel of going back home.
So this is how it is. I'm pretty sure everybody knows how it is eaten.
I come from New Delhi. When I was growing up, we were a group of 4 or 5 friends. So we all will get together every evening around 6 o'clock with our finest of the clothes. We'll just go just to walk and from one end to another end to another, and have some chaat and some golgappes and that was the kind of an atmosphere which Gerrard India Bazaar created. So people can relate to their old past to their present. And they could show to their children that this is how we have experienced our life in India or Pakistan. Anybody who was visiting from anywhere, they will bring him, okay, let's go to Gerrard India Bazaar. This was sort of a ritual for a lot of people to come every weekend to Gerrard India Bazaar. Old habits never die. And old habits are always passed on. So bargaining, in India, there's no bargaining anymore. You go to a big store, there's a ticket item, you pay the ticket price, you That's it. But here, see, people still have the values which they left 40 years ago. Well, like, when I opened up the business here, there was a few people, who were getting together to how we can do better in Gerrard, India Bazaar, what we can do. So the first we formed up a Merchants Business Association, and then we formed a BIA at that time. There were hardly, I think, about 15, 20 stores altogether. And slowly, that BIA became a little more important for us because we could do things together which we could not do it alone by ourselves. The whole idea of BIA is to generate business for the bazaar collectively, not individually.
This bazaar is 100 or 150 shops of the South Asian background have the commercial ventures here, but people in the neighborhood are of a different ethnic. So it's all the more reason that we should try and have them involved and do certain activities so that they know what exactly who we are and what we are basically. You can live peacefully in this world basically when you blend yourself with the fellow citizens living in the neighborhood. 9/11 definitely caused a big challenge to this bazaar because this bazaar was doing very good business with the US visitors coming here. Suddenly 9/11 had an impact on our business. If the dollar becomes very strong, it definitely has an impact. But these are the areas challenges we have.
After 9/11, the influx of Muslim population from states, they came to Canada. With each and every influx of people, we have gone up one notch. The first was influx of Ismailis. When Idi Amin from Uganda expelled Ismailis, there's a lot of Ismailis who came here, and they were very affluent people, Ismailis. So we created and generated little more business because this community was a little more affluent. We kept what their needs were. And then after that, the influx of Sri Lankans came in. So there were not very many Sri Lankan shops anywhere else except here. Then Bangladeshis came in. So basically what happens, in my opinion, no matter what kind of a community is coming in, a businessman has to adjust his business according to their needs.
People have started liking all this. So food, the clothing, the jewelry, all this thing has really become an attraction to the people living in the neighborhood also. I don't think there should be any threat of feeling that we will be eradicated or be thrown out. Probably we should see that we are going to be expanding our BIA. And even if we are getting some non-South Asian merchants as a part of our BIA or board, we are trying to blend and work with them.
It is becoming more of a local bazaar for people to come and enjoy. There's a pub which has opened up, there's another pub opened up, there's a new pizza place which has come up. So many different businesses are coming in. My perspective is within a few years to come, this bazaar is going to be one of the places to be in.